Hello there, my name is Sixo, but more on that later as now it's time for another Toy of the Week video. And today, we're exploring the wonderful world of the Micro. You see, through the power of extremely scientific and hard-to-fathom technology, we've shrunk down almost to the subatomic level, where little things rule the roost, and small robots really are more than meets the eye. It seemed like the right thing to do in order to celebrate the recent reveal of the new Generation Select's Earthrise Hothouse, which is a redeco of the previous modulator figure known as Airwave, and completes the set when it comes to paying a loose homage to the 4 original Micromaster bases from the 1980s. Of course, they've reinvented the concept a bit, with the bases now coming apart and reforming into robot modes themselves, but the reference is very clear. So what better time to take a look at the original version of the character? This is Generation 1 Hothouse. And yes, it is getting a little hot in here. Generation 1 Hothouse is an Autobot Micromaster Transformers toy from 1989, the first year of the subgroup during the original toy line of the franchise. Hothouse is a handsome little white and maroon robot, with a distinctive yellow face and a charming design overall. He transforms into an A-10 Thunderbolt strike plane, complete with a painted gold canopy and some attractive decals on the wings. He's a repaint of the Decepticon Micromaster known as Tailwind from the Airstrike Patrol, although looks very different on account of his new colour scheme. The addition of those wing stickers also helps to make him stand out a little, even if they're likely to be showing a bit of wear on a second-hand copy. Overall, Hothouse is a charming little fellow who makes a welcome addition to any vintage Micromaster collection. Of course, the real draw with this release is that Hothouse comes packaged with a base playset, in this case the rather colourful Fire Station. It's one of just 4 Micromaster stations that were all released in 1989, with the other examples being equally as charming. Like the majority of other Micromaster bases, the big gimmick here is that they feature small ramps that allow you to connect them to one another, building a micro city of sorts. Indeed, you can also connect the stations to almost any of the bases from the Micromaster line overall, making for a huge amount of cross-play value. Still, even as a standalone set, the Fire Station is a thing to behold, with some particularly colourful stickers filling in much of the detail. It can be hard to find this set with mint or even near mint decals, but I'd say it's worth doing so as they really make all the difference here overall. There's also a small garage door that folds up and allows you to store a Micromaster inside should you wish. But that's not nearly the limit of the play value on offer here, as the Fire Station then flips round and in a few easy steps transforms into a surprisingly impressive tank mode. It may be a simple thing on the whole, but it still cuts a fine form and allows for a decent amount of fun to be had once you pop Hothouse himself in what I suppose is the control section. Then there's the large orange cannon which can be manoeuvred up and down a little during play. There's something inherently absurd and yet somehow surprisingly lovely about this release overall, and in many ways it remains one of the more memorable Micromaster bases of its kind. For one thing, it's the only one of the 4 stations that transforms into an actual vehicle form, with the others all becoming weaponized base modes of sorts. Besides, if you're going to buy into the idea of Micromasters as a general concept, then embracing the absurdity is probably the first step of that. Anyway, Hothouse himself is nothing shy of a mini marvel, and the fire station he comes with is a real red-hot release. So for many Transformers fans, Micromasters remain one of the most beloved parts of the franchise, with even really hardened early G1 collectors who would normally waste no opportunity to tell you how the first 2 years of the franchise are clearly superior for indisputable reasons, will at least admit to a lick of love for the little fellas. And that's for good reason too, as they're honestly some of the most charming toys the franchise has dreamt up over the years. There have been quite a few attempts to deliver smaller scale Transformers toys since, although personally I'd argue that it's never been done as well as the original Micromasters. Of course, the new Generation Selects toy is looking pretty cool too, so if indeed you are tempted, then you'll find a link to TF Source's listing in the video description. Just, in case you fancy a little treat. Anyway, the original Hothouse is our Toy of the Week, so a little thank you for watching, and indeed to everyone who's subscribed to the channel so far. Little shout out also to all my Patreon supporters, details of which are coming up at the end of the video in just a little moment. Otherwise, that's it from me, so enjoy the rest of your day, and a little TTFN.